back, everyone, for some more of my Swansea City career mode here on FIFA 16. And we are on Christmas Day here in 2015. And we are at the halfway point of this career mode. Much like my West Ham career mode that I'm doing in FIFA 15, this is only going to be one season long. So, but we are at the, well, it's technically not the halfway point. I mean, we've only played 17 games, but I usually like to do a halfway point video on Christmas Day of the current season. And I'm going to show you guys tables, stats, what's going on in the championship, and players' attributes and stuff. But before we get started here, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys are doing well. And as you can see, we are well and truly on our way to winning the Premier League. You can see Leicester, Watford, Newcastle make up the other Champions League spots besides us. West Brom is in the Europa League spot. And teams in relegation trouble are Nottingham Forest, Cardiff City, and Wolves. FA Cup, we have not played any FA Cup games yet. And it looks like we are going to be facing Hull City here in the semi-finals, which funnily enough, we beat Wigan in the quarterfinals, which we're going to be playing against Wigan in the semifinals in my West Ham career mode on FIFA 15. And speaking of West Ham, they're taking on Bournemouth in the other semifinal. Wouldn't it be funny if it ends up being Swansea City versus West Ham in the Capital One Cup? I think that would be pretty darn cool. And of course, the Champions Trophy at the beginning of the season. We ended up winning that. Just to take a look at the other group. And we are in the round of 16 in the Champions League. We are going to be taking on FC Krasnodar from Russia. Other ones, Palermo and PAOK. Sociedad's taking on Bursaspor. Villarreal's taking on Hoffenheim. Celta Vigo versus Leicester. I think that's Rio Ave taking on Hamburg. Newcastle takes on Deportivo La Coruña. And Atalanta takes on Malaga, which Malaga was our... No, that was... I think they were our group stage opponents. I don't even remember. Because I'm trying to not confuse this one with the West Ham one. But yeah, we did... Malaga did go up behind us just with a 1 loss, 5 wins. And that is Rio Ave. That's what I thought. I do know my stuff occasionally. Wolves finishing bottom of that group. Europa League, we don't have to worry about that. But take a look at the top goal scorers in the Premier League. No surprise, Michu leading the way with 13, 3 above Kramaric, who's playing for Swansea. Very good signing for them. Papa Cisse, top goal scorer for Newcastle. Most assists, Enner Valencia actually got the most assists, which I bragged this guy up in the... yesterday's FIFA video that I did because I did a West Ham halfway point video and I bragged up Enner Valencia being a pretty decent winger even though he's a default striker. And you can see a bunch of other players are on that list. Vorm with 6 clean sheets, Trammell with 5. So that's a total of 11 clean sheets altogether. FA Cup, we haven't participated in that yet. Trammell with the most clean sheets, tied with the most with 2, whereas Vorm got 1. Most assists goes to Porter from Colchester, which Routledge and Leon Britton each with assists there. And top goal scorers, Michu and Emnes both tied with 4. And you can see De Guzman with 2. Champions Cup, well, this is the preseason tournament, which I'm not gonna focus too much on this. I almost confused this with the Champions Cup, which is the Champions League. But for Timmy Gomes, actually, with the most goals here with 10. Michu with 9, Emnes also with 9. Jose Perez getting 5 for Newcastle, which I believe he plays for Real Betis in real life now. Ki Sung-hyung with them. I believe he scored a hat-trick in the opening Champions League game. I forget who it was against, but you see Routledge with the most assists. You can see a couple of other players with 5. Most clean sheets, Vorm with 3. Adler leading the way with 5 clean sheets, which, if I'm not mistaken, Rene Adler also led the Champions League in clean sheets in my West Ham career mode in the Champions League. So... Rene Adler getting the job done in the Champions League, both in FIFA 15 and 16. But we are going to take a look. I'm just going to look at the championship table right now. You see Burnley and Hull lead the way with 49 points each. Derby County, QPR, Reading, and Sheffield Wednesday are in the playoff promotion spots. But Sheffield Wednesday actually made it to the promotion playoff final this season. They ended up losing to Hull City. But I was actually rooting for Sheffield Wednesday to come back up, because I do have a little bit of a soft spot for them. But bottom teams, Yeovil Town, AFC Wimbledon, and Newport County. Trying to think of what else happened. You can see we still got 47. I am looking at a few. I'm not going to, because I'm only going to do one season, but I am, out of curiosity, looking at pre-contract signings, which I think one of them I've already, if I were to sign, I already missed out on, but I don't know. He must have renewed his contract or something, I don't know, but we're going to take a look at the squad. I just want to make sure I'm able to say everything that I want to here, because it's not quite the same as what it is in later FIFAs, which I don't think that, because my career I really don't want to talk about. The Youth Academy I don't do. Yeah, but finances, I'm not doing any kind of transfer business. But you'd see our starting lineup right here in our backup team, which one thing I do have to say off camera is that injuries are a real problem in this game. I forgot just how bad FIFA 16 was compared with injuries, but just to go down the list here, I'm going to be talking about each individual player here, starting with Michel Vorm. 13 clean sheets and 21 appearances. Fantastic work from the Dutchman. Angel Rangel. Of course, when you think of Swansea City, this is one of the players you think about. Hasn't put a foot wrong with me. Now, even though Kyle Bartley is one overall lower than Ashley Williams, and Ashley Williams is considered a leader of men, I've been very happy with how Kyle Bartley has not only solidified the back four, but he's also got 2 goals and 2 assists to his name, so he's really going on a bit of a tear for me on both sides of the ball, which I really appreciate, which Ashley Williams has a goal and 2 assists, but it just seems like Kyle Bartley is everywhere in this game. But Neil Taylor, not really much to talk about, does his business at left back. Ki Sung-hyun, former Newcastle player, has done most of his damage in the Champions League, but very good. He's actually my favorite center mid, whereas Jonjo Shelby, he is very irritating to play with in this game. I don't know, I just don't like... He's like Andy Carroll in my West Ham career mode in FIFA 15. I just do not enjoy playing with Jonjo Shelby. He just does a lot of weird things off and on the ball, and I just don't really like playing with him. Nathan Dyer doing pretty good. He is my right mid. Wayne Routledge having a pretty decent season at left mid. Jonathan de Guzman, I'm kind of have to put in the same boat as Jonjo Shelby, a player that I really don't particularly like playing with. He just really... The way he plays doesn't really fit the style that I want my team to play. I mean, that's not really his fault, but I just don't... I actually prefer Marvin Emness in the cam position over Jonathan de Guzman. Michu, what can I say about this guy? 38 goals, 10 assists, and 25 appearances. Of course, he is one of the most well-known one-season wonders in Premier League history, and it's nice to at least return him back to his old glory here, at least in the video game, and see how awesome Michu was back in the day. Pablo Hernandez, well, he hasn't done too bad. I mean, I really can't think of anything offhand that he's done. I'm like, oh my god, that was awesome, but pretty decent center mid backup option. Jordi Amat, really not much to say about him. Jefferson Montero, every time I played with this guy, he's been invisible. He does have a goal and 5 assists to his name in 13 appearances, which isn't too terrible. I mean, it could be a lot better, but I don't know. Every time I play with Montero, he just never pops up for me. I even try getting him involved in games, and he's just not working for me. This guy's been absolutely fantastic. I actually prefer him as my cam over Jonathan de Guzman. You can see 25 goals, 6 assists, and 23 appearances. This guy's been absolutely tearing it up. Dwight Tiendali, I actually really like this guy as my wingback. I've played him on both the left back and right back positions. Very, very good backup option. And you could argue that on his day, he's just as good for me as what Neil Taylor and Angle Wrangle has been for me. But for Timby Gomes, if I didn't have Michu on the team already, I would have Gomes as my starting striker. This guy's been absolutely fantastic. 18-3 through 20 appearances. Been absolutely awesome, especially in the Champions League. He's actually the leading goal scorer in that competition. You see Gerhard Schemmel, pretty decent backup goalkeeper option. And pretty much just fringe players from here on out, not players that aren't getting much, which I should say that Stephen Kingsley and Modou Barrow were initially on loan, but they came back from their loan spells. Federico Fernandez, very good center back. I've actually preferred him at times over Ashley Williams, of course, used to play for Newcastle, alongside John Joe Shelby and Ki Sung-hyun and Wayne Routledge. So a lot of former Newcastle players on this team, but you can see he did end up getting injured. He'll be fully fit in a couple weeks. Nordfeldt, I have not given game time to. Eder, I really should give game time to. I did have him on a bench a couple times. I don't think because I've had him on bench on sim matches, which, by the way, I've simmed every match that has not been on camera, in case any of you are wondering. So, the games I have physically played in this career mode are ones that you guys have already seen. So, all the other games I just quick simmed. But Eder, I did have him on the bench. Apparently, he didn't even come off the bench any of those times. Frank Taberneau, I need to get him and put him back on my if I haven't already done so. He is my backup left back. This guy's actually been terrific for me as well. As a matter of fact, Taberneau and Tiendali have been absolutely awesome as backup wide backs. Kyle Naughton, when Taberneau was injured, I did have him in there. I switched Tiendali to the left and then put Naughton in there. Really hasn't put a foot wrong, though. Not really. He really hasn't done anything as like, oh my god, or anything like that. But Andre Yu, pretty decent backup option. I actually prefer him at times over Wayne Routledge, if I'm being honest. Jack Cork I have not given time to. Same with Luke Moore. Leon Britton is actually... If I had to rank somebody as my second favorite center mid behind Ki Sung-hyun, it would be Leon Britton. I mean, this guy's been absolutely fantastic for me. And we're just going through other players and that. But I'm just going to go ahead. If there's any in particular you want to look at, you can just go ahead and pause the video. I'm just going to go ahead and just keep on scrolling down here. That way you can see player attributes. John Joe Shelby, he has every one of the stats in green, but I just don't like playing with him in the game. He just doesn't feel right. Nathan Dyer has some of it because he just came back from injury. Like I said, Montero has been pretty much invisible every time that I played with him. I didn't realize Gomes was 30 years of age in his FIFA already. You can see a lot of players going down on their stats. I should give Eder some game time too. Maybe I'll play him in the Capital One Cup final when we get there. You can see IU grown at almost every attribute, which is awesome. Leon Britton's starting to go down. He is 33 years of age. But I think that's pretty much it. Let's just look at some of the news here. Nice clip right there. I think I might actually have that as my thumbnail. But yeah, I think I'm going to have that. I love that photo right there. Even though I don't play with Jack Cork, it's kind of funny he's on there. But you can see, I think that's Federico Fernandez, and I believe the other guy is, that might be Wayne Routledge, or it could be Ashley Williams. I don't know who that is offhand, but we're just going to leave it like that. Those were the previous season's kits that they're wearing, by the way, in that shot as well. But I'm going to end things off here. But next time I see you guys, we'll probably most likely be in the Capital One Cup, which, by the way, we're facing off against Ipswich Town in the third round of the FA Cup, and we're taking on Hull in semi-finals. And in the final of the Capital One Cup should be sometime at the end of February, and then we'll be looking to not only win the Capital One Cup, but the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League as well. So hopefully you guys looking forward to the second half of the season. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I will see you guys again next time.